Good afternoon. So, I've come today with a small segment which I'm introducing from now on, which will be talking about the matches, as in Afghanistan versus England, which is today's World Cup match, and some tips and tricks on how to actually go ahead and win these fantasy games. So, today's game is a very interesting one, and I will be giving some tips and strategies on how to actually go ahead and win these matches. Okay, and I know that many people are thinking that it will be the clear winner is going to be England, but there are some ifs and buts today, and there are some very interesting things which can happen today. And today is actually one of those right days when you know people who are into betting make a lot of money, and that is the reason why I just want to go ahead and upfront tell you all what is the most crucial factor which is going to determine today's game, and how it will affect the outcome, and what kind of players you should choose based on that. You can probably go ahead and check my words with the outcome of the match. Of course, there are a lot of variables which every nobody can predict, right? If people are betting, then definitely there are some people who may not play, may play. It can happen, right? And it is like possibly casting an aspersion that there are some players who are into this racket and all that. But at the same time, there are certain match conditions which affect the outcome and which can play very well into today's match. And I just want to talk about that. The first thing is, we all know that the Arun Jaitley Stadium is a is a pitch where runs are being plundered, right? Now that is the most critical aspect of today's game, because essentially for the World Cup, based on ICC rules, they prepared a fresh pitch which is completely different from the normal pitch we see in Arun Jaitley Stadium. Okay, the normal pitch which we have watched in IPLs is that it's a slow pitch which gives a lot of assistance to the spinners, right? But here in the World Cup, we are noticing for the last two matches, so much runs have been scored. South Africa has scored over 400 runs. Sri Lanka also, they scored over 300 runs, nearly over 700 runs scored. That even Afghanistan made quite a few runs against India based on their batting capabilities. Over 270, 260 score coming from Afghanistan was a major effort. So everybody is thinking the Arun Jaitley Stadium is a batsman's paradise, and this is exactly how the match is going to pan out. But you have to be careful, because there are two pitches which are being used in the Arun Jaitley Stadium. So when the pitch report comes, you need to know which pitch is being used. Is it going to be the slower pitch, or the one pitch where the last two matches have been played? Because if it is the pitch where the last two matches have been played, then it will of course follow a very familiar script where England are going to win. But if they use the slower pitch, then there is a chance of a major upset. Okay, because if the slower pitch is used and they take Noor Ahmed instead and rest one of the Afghani player, it is going to be a very, very interesting match, because Noor Ahmed, Mujib, and Rashid Khan, they are much better than the spinners you have in England, and England does not have a world-class spin attack. So it is going to be very, very interesting, and we really do not have established batsmen in England who can actually go ahead and counter the spin of Afghanistan if the slower pitch is used. So it's very important, once the match starts, get into the pitch report, find out which pitch is being used. If the slower pitch is being used, trust me, all the things which you've made, all the stats, all the players and everybody you've taken, and all the betting you have probably done saying that England is going to win with a lot of odds, trust me, there's going to be a tailspin, there's going to be a curveball, and you have to be very careful because if the slower pitch is used, then it is advantage Afghanistan. It is not going to be easy. So this is my advice to all people, and this is nothing. I'm not going to go into this betting thing or this fantasy thing. Uh, that of course some people are going to play it, but what I'm just trying to do is predict the outcome of the match, and the outcome of the match is going to be determined based on the pitch which is being used, and there are two pitches which are being used in Arun Jaitley. Still now, the slower pitch has not been used, and the slower pitch in IPLs has given massive assistance to the spinners. And trust me, if that slower pitch is used, Noor Ahmed taken, somebody rested, advantage Afghanistan. And Afghanistan, I think, has a much better way, like their batsmen are much better equipped to play spin. If they can somehow counter if they are batting first, they counter the early morning swing and everything, because Gurbaz has a sharp eye, Zadran is a technically good player. If they can put some runs on the board, and I'm telling you, if they even put 220, 230 on the board with the slower pitch being used, England are not going to find it easy chasing under lights in on the slower pitch. It is going to be a very interesting match. So this is what my take on this whole situation is, and I think this is going to be the first match which is going to turn out to be very interesting in World Cup in World Cup, because one day this World Cup, because all the others are following a very basic trend and people are winning, people are losing. It's like we know that sometimes there are two strong teams clashing with one strong team being the clear winner, no close matches. So this is one match where it's probably, you can call it a bookie favorite match, because you've got a very weak team and a very strong team, but you've got certain variables which can be tampered with in order to determine an interesting result. So do keep in mind these things when you possibly go into looking into your making your team and all these things. And pitch report, very important in the beginning. The pitch report is very important. If the slower pitch is being used, put the Afghani spinners there, put Mujib, put Noor Ahmed. If Afghanistan does not take Noor Ahmed with the slower pitch being used, I don't know. It's ridiculous. I can't believe this, but they should. I would tell them to pick Noor Ahmed even if the better pitch is being used. I mean to say the pitch in which batsmen they just make hay. I would still tell them to pick Noor Ahmed, because Noor Ahmed is a world-class spinner and he should not be left out of the Afghanistan team, and I think he can even bat a little bit. So he's a very key player in today's match if he's not like played. I don't think Ben Stokes and Chris Woakes is going to be played today, because Chris Woakes probably did not appear for the practice session, and Ben Stokes still hasn't recovered to that extent that he can be fit to play. It's risky to go ahead and play him now and then he misses the next two matches, and probably England is feeling that okay, we can go ahead and defeat Afghanistan, it's not a big team. So I would recommend, if the slower pitch is being used, English should try to put in another extra spinner. I think Livingstone is not a bad bet. Livingstone is not that bad a spinner. He's a little weird, you know. He's a weird kind of a spinner who can get wickets. But Moeen and Adel, I don't think they're at the level of Afghanistan. You know, that will be the clinch point of this match. Anyways, I hope you like this segment. I hope you enjoy the match today. It is England versus Afghanistan, but I don't think it is going to be as easy as it seems if the slower pitch is being used. If the fast pitch is being used, the batsman's paradise, then it's probably England will win. But otherwise, it's going to be interesting. Thank you.